When it comes to growing our food, farmers need reliable ways to keep weeds away. One of the ways is pesticides.
Yeah, they're effective and economical, but over the years, civil lawsuits claim herbicides like agricultural Roundup cause cancer. And that's the focus of a conversation in the Iowa legislature.
And the focus of our latest Our Water, Our Land report for America. Estefania Pinto-Ruiz is here. And Estefania, you've been looking into legislation that would stop some of these lawsuits.
Last month, a bill was introduced in the state legislature that could affect both the health, rights, and pockets of farmers right here in Iowa. We decided to investigate why and look at the impact and how it could affect not only them, but you as well.
Raised 4 girls here, 4 dogs, 8 cats.
Ray Bickle and his wife Margaret are reflecting on their lives now that there is uncertainty how much longer Ray has to live. Back in 1974, he worked as an applicator of the weed killer Roundup in farm fields in Clinton County.
It was a very successful chemical. It worked.
For 15 years, he helped farmers grow our food.
It worked well for the farmers. I actually liked to spray it. I think all of the applicators did. They liked spraying Roundup.
Ray had a heart attack in 2017.
It wasn't good news after that.
After further testing is when he was diagnosed the middle of June with CLL, which is blood in the bone marrow cancer. He was diagnosed with stage 3 rectal cancer.
Doctors suggested it could be because of his years working with Roundup. Now, Ray has filed a lawsuit against Bayer Monsanto, the company that makes Roundup. Now, there is a proposed bill moving through the Iowa legislature that would shield pesticide companies from certain lawsuits. According to the bill, if a pesticide label meets Environmental Protection Agency standards, it will protect pesticide companies from personal injury lawsuits. These chemicals are widely used on corn and soybean farms, including the main ingredient in the weed killer Roundup, glyphosate. Some farmers support the bill out of fear that without it, companies would not longer offer the products.
And Roundup, glyphosate, has been a major, if not the only product that we use to terminate those cover crops without having to do tillage. So it helps preserve the soil, helps keep the water cleaner. And so we need to have that. It's been a low cost, effective product. We need to keep using it.
Bayer denies Roundup causes cancer, but many farmers and applicators like Bickle say they are getting sick from long-term exposure to glyphosate. The science is still developing, but researchers say some studies show a link non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer to glyphosate exposure.
What struck me about that was there was a consistent finding of a low, but albeit somewhat significant risk for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in the exposed group. So, and that's called more like a meta-analysis or systematic review. And those are more helpful because you're not just relying on one study. You're kind of like looking at all of them together and see if they're consistent.
Across multiple farm fields like this one, workers spend between 15 hours a day or more spraying Roundup, leading to long-term exposure. Opponents of the bill say long-term exposure causes cancer and takes away farmers' right to sue.
Right. If we do something wrong, we're liable on our farms, right? And it's unfair that a pesticide company would get to hide behind that label when we don't get that opportunity as farmers. So it definitely favors and tilts the playing field away from farmers towards the pesticide makers.
However, Bayer Monsanto, the company that makes Roundup, says the proposed bill doesn't give blanket immunity to pesticide manufacturers and only takes away the right to failure to warn, meaning a product lacks proper warnings.
If you can't prove a manufacturing defect and you can't prove a design defect, then the only option is for the manufacturer to warn against a hazard in the product, and that's the failure to warn.
Bicol filed a lawsuit against Bayer in 2024. While the process just started, the family is struggling to process a future without him.
It is terminal, so we know it's going to happen at some point, but
All right, Estefania, we understand that this is not the end of this story.
Yes, we will be looking at this issue throughout this month, including the research behind finding an answer if this chemical causes cancer and how what's happening here could affect the nation.
Yeah, definitely a lot of layers to the story. Estefania, thank you for that report.